Hey, what's up, everyone? So we are here looking at the #1 player in the world, just checking out the base design. Some people have asked about what kind of base designs are really effective, and you can generally get a gauge on what a good base design is by looking at the top 10. So currently, we are in patch 1.7.0 or 1.7.1, whatever update version you're currently on. And you'll notice that you're going to see a lot of bases very similar to this style. The reason being is it is a very effective base. You cannot double hit hardly any towers at all. On this side right here, there's a lot of times firebolt towers, and then occasionally one or two skull towers, and then that comes over here. On this side, you typically have a couple snake towers, and so there's the snake towers that are forcing you to go towards the middle. And when you're towards the middle, you have the fireball towers on this side and the skull towers that can shoot off, and you're close enough where they can hit you going up this line. So these bases are very effective. You might want to give these a try, and again, you have to use a combination of snake towers with fireball towers, skull towers. It's very interesting that the #1 player here is not using any snake towers at all. You can see he's using a couple elite boosted bomb towers in there. You can attempt to try and attack him, but I really doubt it's going to let us. He's currently online or someone is currently attacking him. Take a look at the next player, and you'll notice the bases are very similar. A little bit different up at top, but overall, generally the same style of base. And it's because this is a very effective base. You can see he's using snake towers. So this is a layout that you may want to try for your own bases. Of course, some of these bases in the top only work with high max level towers, because a lot of time these bases are there just to kind of stall the opponent king so that they can't get to the castle gate and can't destroy the castle gate, in enough time. And so that's why you have the towers all kind of separated. With how powerful their waves are, though, these bases can kill you instantly, like at the first tent. That's what will happen if I were to go in here and actually try and attack. We'll try and attack here. Failed, he's online. But bases that have like 40 or 50 morale points in their waves can kill you right before you even get out past the first tower, because they have so many monsters, they have so much damage potential in their waves that is, almost unbeatable. It is, you have to deal with that first, and by the time you deal with the first set of wave troops, you're actually in a shitload of trouble, and the next wave comes out and now you're like, oh my god, what do I do? So defenses, layouts, they're important, but a lot of the time the battles are won or lost based on your wave points and what kind of troops you have. Once you start getting over like 30 or so morale points, you can start incorporating a lot of monsters, and those are very dangerous to deal with. They do a lot of damage, and if you can elite boost them, like here you see the purpleness, they can be deadly, downright deadly. So definitely recommend upgrading your waves as soon as possible. Take another look at another base up here. Again, you'll notice it's pretty much the exact same base, just flipped on the other side. And there's no specific reason for being left or right. Some people like having it on the right hand side because they say that you can, force your opponent to move up on that side, and they can accidentally click the scroll button that is up in the top right hand corner right here when you're raiding. But really, this is all placement based on how many of those runes you have in your layout right here. So I'll show you exactly. So down here, everyone has a randomly generated amount of runes that you have to clear before you can actually build. So you notice there's a rune over here. There's a rune over here. And to remove them, you have to actually pay a lot of gems. Once you start clearing most of them, it now costs 200 gems every time I want to remove a rune from my base. So typically, what side they have the least amount of runes on, that's the side that the players started to clear off, and that's why the bases are either left or right side. There's no left is better or right side is better. This is not a Twix commercial here, you know. It doesn't matter if it's left or right. They're both exactly the same. But you see we have runes on this side. So generally you want to clean out your runes in the middle area. But they are very, very costly. And then you will notice that barricades are going to be more popular in the higher levels because they get to level 13 for one, and they also have elite boosts. And with elite boosts on, they have an insane amount of life. 23,921 here for a max level barricade. That is a lot more than a max level blockade. Here's a max level blockade, 18,560. So that is almost 6,000 more, 5,000 more HP. It is crazy. And that 5,000 HP stalls the opponent king a lot. So that's something that you want to work on, is that you want to start upgrading your barricades again and getting them to max. The cool thing is that they're really, really cheap to upgrade. The elite boost on the barricade is also fairly cheap as well. They also have really short durations for upgrading, so you can get these guys up to like level 10 or level 9 in a couple of days. And again, the cost to upgrade, the amount of gold that it costs is actually really, really low. I think I may have one up here. Nope, that one's maxed out. That one's maxed out. But you'll notice here's a level 10 Blockade, and it's already costing 4 million to upgrade. I believe the final upgrade on the tough Barricade, or the Barricade itself, is only like 3 or 4 million. The very final one, the very last upgrade that you need to do to get to level 13. Going to level 11 on the Blockade is already like as expensive as the final upgrade on the Barricade. And the Blockade overall is just way, way more expensive. I guess you can justify that by saying this is steel, and so steel costs a lot more, and you got wood over here, so we got like all these trees out here, and you can just chop down the wood. But yeah, whatever the reasoning is, the barricades are cheaper, they are way more effective. You do need to have the elite boost on. So those are some great defensive tips. Definitely try that. They're calling it the end design. So try the end design that some of the top 10 players are using. Utilize that. Start building up your barricades. And those are some great new defense tips for you guys now.